Session is going to recorded now. I think yesterday already I told you guys how the installation do with Visual Studio Visual Studio. Hope everybody's done that setup. If you done that setup, just go to this Visual Studio 2022. Right now in your mission it's 2023. So both are similar. There is no big difference at all. If you click on this Visual Studio, the project solution will be open like this way. If you want to, yeah, right now I want to show how we can create the project and how we can run that project in our Visual Studio IDE. So right now we have different types of options here, but for the student we are going to with this create new project option. If we click on the create new project, it is redirected to the project creation folder. Yeah, we are doing the right now we are learning the C sharp language, so we can choose the language as C sharp here. And the platform is we are utilizing Windows. Right now my system is a Windows platform. If you are using any Mac OS and all, then you can according to that you can choose the Mac OS. And if you are using Linux, you can use the Linux. So different platforms. Right now I'm using Windows, so I'm utilizing the Windows platform. And also what kind of project type right now I'm using the console project type because this is the basic funda, so everyone to learn the first level of console level, then according to that your basics are fully done, then go with the desktop and all like this. So console and desktop are these things are there, so I would like to check with the console and these things. So these two apps are available. So whatever the selection, according to this selection, the apps will be available in this projects. So right now I'm just for the our lecture, I'm using the console application. So here I'm going to choose this and click on next. The first class is basics of star. We can create the project name like this, and what are the location, if you want to try to location, you want to change the location, you can change here different location. If you go with the C drive or D drive, whatever the path you want to try to make it by this way, you can select the path and place your solution in this level. And also if you want to change the basic solution name also, you can find it here and change the basic solution name. This is the project name, and solution name also we can give that differently also, it is possible. These things are for our console app. Once we click on next, then it is going to ask for the what are the framework you need to use. So right now in our Visual Studio, IDE is supporting to .NET 8 and .NET 6. So according to that, we can choose that our latest version. Right now I'm choosing the .NET 8.0 long-term support framework. So I'm choosing this one because this why I'm choosing .NET 8.0. This is the recent funda and the recent .NET releases from the Microsoft. And click on create. It will create the basic project structure with the all the dependencies. Yes, you can see this is the basic structure and what are the dependencies and what are the framework supported, and default programming class will be created here. If you can make your first Visual Studio setup, you can try with this new project, like this way you will get it. And also already I told you we selected .NET framework, so according to that default dependency Microsoft .NET Core app is been created here. And also the C sharp programming console application automatically created. So here, if you want to run this project default, then you can need to click start button on top of this. If you can use the control F5 also, you can utilize and start the program. Yeah. If I start the program, whatever the console application in the console write line method, the default it is showing as a hello world program. Right now, I'm going to the main structure of our console application. I would like to write to get rid of, I'm removing this all this thing and use this programs.cs with our console application. I'm going to write one program. Yes, this is the basic program, and also we need to use the namespace as system. Yeah. Coming to the .NET wise, every .NET application will start from the main method only. Without this main method, we can't start any program from the .NET side. This is the main method. The class is the first program end part, starting point, and inside that, whatever the functionality we've written, that will be going to execute starting point. Right now, I'm just using the console application and writing the simple welcome to C# training. So here, this is called using system is called a namespace. Namespace is nothing but it is having a collection of classes. So already we need to declare on top of that. It indicates that the system namespace it is used to organize the all the code and collection of classes and interfaces and all. So without this we can't run our class program. That's the reason we need to add the namespace. And also coming to the second, whatever the class having inside that we have a main method. The main method, if we going to remove m and change it as a small case, it is coming to as a build error. If I'm trying to run this one, build this one, we are getting one fail. Program does not contain a static main method suitable for entry point. I already told you, right? The C# program will start with main method only. But right now we have a main method. Why it is not running? Because C# always supports with the Pascal, whatever the case of case sensitive way. It is the first letter should be a capital and the sequence will be in the naming section with a small case of letter. Then only the framework will understand, okay, this is the main method, is the entry point already exists. Then now you can build this, it automatically, it builds and success, zero fails. If you change this as to small case, it failed, it, it fails and showing the does not contain static main method for the entry point. This is the difference for this one. If you want to run this main method, you just simply click on F5, then you will get the console command prompt and you will get the message with welcome to C# primary. Hope everybody understand this basic C# syntax structure. If you have any questions, please ask. And there is no questions, I will go for the next one.
For me, it is clear, Ram.
Okay, thanks. Hope I think someone can ask about this one. Without this one,
Yeah.
also we can run. With this one, why we are using arcs and like that. Hope let's we can discuss. But even the main method without arguments also it will work. There is no need of the main method with the argument. But upcoming sections, I will explain why we need this argument and all for the main method.
Yeah, and also Ram, please explain one by one why we use public, static, void, main, that and all.
Yes, yes, sure, sure. Public static void main, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely. This is the actual, it is coming up the functions point of view. I want to explain these sequences. You know, this class, if I tell this initially, there's everybody will being confused. Just I want to explain the first path is how the we can print our message in our console application. So this is the way I already told you, right? If we can use this F5 button starting debugging point, then we can console our print line message. And at the same time, the class structure coming to this here. Every C# programming we have a bundled with all the classes only. This is the main class as a program class. If you go with that inside the methods, we can write different any number of methods in the program class. The basic class we have a public, static, void, main. The public is nothing but a access modifier. Access modifier means if you want to use this method in another class also, it will be visible and able to access using this public access modifier. If you make it as a private access modifier, we can't use this main method into other class. That's the reason. Generally, the main methods completely should be in the public and the
Yeah,
static. Yeah,
here public and private both are optional or
no, no. The uh, based on our requirement we can give the access modifiers. That is the different. Okay, right now if I give that lecture it is confusing everybody.
oh,
So
sorry.
this we have a plenty of six access modifiers: internal, okay, and private and protected. So these kind of modifiers are there. These because according to our situation, the class we present, we want to utilize this protected and private and internal and public access modifiers. In upcoming sections, I will definitely explain when we are going to the class structures. If you right now only one class I am explaining, right? Programming class and console application. Today agenda, I just want to explain the basic syntax of the C# things. So this is the basic syntax. In every program, every class should be constructed like this way only. But inside the methods and functions and parameters will change according to our requirement. So right now, I'm just explaining right now, we are printing this message. Okay. We have we want to read some message and write some message. This way also we can do with the console application. The second thing is I want to read some message. So here, please enter your name. Okay. Here we have any what is the right line doing is whatever we enter here, it will be going to print in the command prompt. At the same time, I want to enter some username that will be combining to see in the my command prompt. So that's why I'm using one. string data type and assigning the value to username as and console.readLine. This console.readLine will read our whatever the enter message in command prompt. We can enter the some message that will read into the username field and writing into the line number 8 with the hello user, whatever the username you can enter. So I would like to show here in the command prompt level. So if you can click on the F5 button, for why we are clicking F5 button, right? For executing our program, the F5 button is the runner and compiler starting point. So this is the starting point usually we can use for C sharp. Okay, it is asking, please enter your name. My name I'm entering here, Ram. It is showing, right? Hello, Ram. This is the way. This is the way we can utilize our console write line and console read and console write line with our whatever the concatenation with username and all. Hope everybody understand this write line and read line. What is the use of these two things? Any doubts here?
Here, username it is the variable.
Yes, username is the variable. We want to try to read the whatever the entry using the dot read line. So I can execute again. You can see this. What is the difference both is this? So I just ran side by side. Okay. Please enter your name. Okay. Right now the console write line it is executed this line number 6. Okay. The next line it is asking for our entry. Username is asking for entry because of we have in the 7 line number 7 we have the console.readLine. So here I'm giving some name as a Mohan. Okay. The line number 8 immediately will execute if we click on enter button. The line number 8 will be executed with hello and concatenated with username as a variable.
Yeah,
That is the way.
if we want to give name dynamic way, at that time we use that one console.
Yes, yes, exactly. The dynamic way, if you want to read the data from outside, then we can use the console.readLine.
Here, string is the data type.
Exactly. String is the data type. I'm coming to the next session. Next thing is the what are the data types and how we can use data types.
Yeah, Ram, I have one doubt here. So,
Yeah.
if I give, you have taken string, right? String of username. So, in the console, if I give instead of Mohan, if I give 10, 20, or something integer values, what it takes? Consider as string or consider
No,
as integer?
whatever data type you can use right here, integer, then it will treat as a integer here and that converting into the string format.
Okay. So, suppose the dynamic way we cannot, it cannot accept.
No, always the read line will accept the string format data.
Integer it won't. If you declare as integer, it can accept, right?
No, no. You need to convert that integer. If you can declare a integer, it
Okay,
will
okay. Always it should accept only string.
string
If
format
I
because
want to give integer, then we can convert username to integer and you can do any arithmetic operations on
yes,
that. Right?
exactly,
Okay.
exactly. Hope you understand, right? Then I'm going with that data types because already line number 7 I just shown that string data type. But actually we have a main use case of C sharp. We have a 5 types of integral data types. I'm just giving that boolean type and integral types are like s byte and byte and short integer, uint, long, and char, etc. These are the integral data types. And I hope I can close this one. Like to maximize this better visibility. And we have a floating data types as well. Fourth one is decimal data types. Fifth one is string data types. Okay, so one by one we can write the example. So according to that, you people understand how the boolean will work in C sharp, how the integer types will work in C sharp, and floating and decimal and string data types. Okay, so I'm coming to first check with the boolean value. So for this boolean, we just use that bool as a of a data type, and is user exist false exist. So here the boolean data types always tells that the whatever the variable we assigned, right? This variable having the true or false condition. You know, right? The the is existed or not. Like based on that we can contribute like if it is the value is true or a false using this boolean data type. This is the data type we can use the for a true or false, false or true like these conditions and boolean data type. If we can execute this write line, we will get the user exist, the value coming to as a true. Coming to integral types, we have a s byte, byte, integer, uint, and long and characters. But among these integral types, we are regularly using integer and long and characters. More cases we are in the C sharp, we are integer and long and characters. These things will be useful for what the variable you want to assign, the value will be a digits. How many digits are being called, the digits specification will be assigned by this integer and unit and long and character and s byte and byte. So for right now, I'm just giving that how we can utilize this one. Int a equal to 1. So here integer as a data type, a is a variable and 1 is the value. We are assigning the value as a 1. So but integer we have a max level and min level also is there. So how do we know that max level and min level? Already .NET frameworks knows this integers predefined built-in type. So if we just want to know that how how much of max length and min length is there for this one, you just go to integer, ask this here int dot min value, int dot max value. So it definitely tells that okay how much of data it is, data length will be there for this integer. So we just going to execute this one. Let's see how much of min value and max value in the byte format. You can see, right? The integer value is 214, this length, this many lengths. You can give the value with this many characters, it will work for the integer. Coming to long character. Long will be used for if the number is more than 5 characters, like then the number length will be more than, if you can consider a phone number or like that, these are greater than numbers. So these kind of scenarios we can utilize the long characters, because integer will support so few many bytes only, but more than that, number of characters you can see, right? 21478 368, this kind of value, possible value more than this possible value, integer will throw the error. So that's the reason the built-in framework will provide another data type is a long data type. If you use this long data type, the max and min length values are more than integer. So we can see that the max and min length values of this. The same way I can add for the U shot and all the other things. You just, I want to show that how much of it is supported. Can execute and see this, how the values, the max and min values. See this. Long will support this kind of length of character, this many digits. You can see, right, how many digits is this. Because if the phone number or other digits or any unique ID or Aadhaar ID, this coming under the long data type only. Because without these data types, we can't mention the digits. The otherwise, if we utilize other strings and all, it is fine. But the number digits only we can use the data types as a long and integer and byte. You can see the byte, how much the minimum length is 0. The max length is 255. The short is 327868. And character is like this. This is the way existed max and min values will, it is supported by these integral data types. Why I'm showing these values are, right? Upcoming your programming, these data types is the key part. Without these data types, we can't make any program. So next level is floating data types. Why the floating data types are completely for the pointer variables. Like right now, this long data type we can utilize for mobile phone. For example, I'm giving the examples. Mobile phone. The integer data type we can utilize for direct numbers like your weight or height, calculating the height and age and length. This kind of possible values we are utilizing the integer value, and long also utilizing for the mobile and different this basically in the .NET side, mostly most use cases with integer and long. Just you can also do some exercise with long and integer mostly, but my byte and short less times we are utilizing, because the support of byte and short is very less of numbers. The character also less usage case because we have already string data types, though we didn't much use as this character as well. But part of learning, we just scope I'm showing these parts. Coming to the floating data types, I already mentioned in the is a, we have done these two, and floating data types and data decimal data types are left.